Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, welcome to be my guest today. We have two artists. One's a crafter, actually. Beautiful. A mom and her daughter. It is Kathleen Kunkel, and she's mom, and she does mixed media painting, artwork. And Hanna Kunkel, her daughter, is a pottery artist. Talk about artisticness running in the family. This is bizarre. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, both of you. And they look alike too. They look so pretty. I mean, her mom doesn't look old enough to be her mom, but this is great. Now, I think I found out Deb Horan up at the Book Lovers Gourmet she sends me the updates as to who's going to be there. Mm-hmm. This is artists and authors, and I read about you guys. I said, this is great. We got to get you guys on. And so that's how I found them. Book Lovers Gourmet is up in Webster. And you now live in Thompson, right?
Correct.
They live in Thompson. So it's not too far to go for you, right? Just over the line.
Oh, correct.
Oh, gosh. Who wants to go first, or will I just pick who goes first?
Go for it.
All right, Mom. We'll give Hannah a chance to just rally. So, Mom, how did you get into your painting, your art?
Well, my painting, it's from my father. I carry the gene of my father. He's an artist when he was younger. And when I moved out, I'm from the Michigan, Detroit area, and when I moved out to Massachusetts, my husband's family knew that I liked art, and they found Christine O'Brien in Southbridge. Mm-hmm. She's a famous artist that's deceased now, and I took lessons with her. And right when I got married, before I even had children, and I was with her for 10 years, learning how to paint with oil and watercolor and pencil, pen and ink.
So you've done all these different media.
Yes.
Start showing us some. Where do you see this work?
I will. I'll start with the older ones. So this is actually, I did this from a picture that was taken of my grandfather. So this is
Can you catch that, Paul?
I'm sorry?
We're going to catch that. Make sure we get it just right so we see this. No glare if it can help it.
Okay, is that better?
And that's your grandpa, right?
It is, yeah. And he was a professional tailor. And this was him at his shop, and the assignment for this particular drawing was black and white +1, so I did the thread on here blue. I'm not sure if you could see it.
I like that touch of the thread, the blue showing up on his machine. Was it a Singer machine? Was it a Singer?
Most likely, yeah.
Is he still with us?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Where was he famous? Did he make people's clothes for them?
Well, when he was... he's from Bitola, and when he went down into maybe Saloniki, Greece, he did the Grecian army clothes, and then he came to America and he did a lot of business clothes.
So when he came, did he come in through Ellis Island or come up the coast more?
I actually don't know that.
Yeah.
It was a communist time during former Yugoslavia then.
Yeah.
So he had gone through a difficult route to get to America.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's good that he came.
Yeah.
I love that. That's definitely, the detail in it is amazing. You have more patience than a lot of us would have.
This actually is one of my favorite ones. That's why I brought it here to show.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like drawing with pencil. I'm very familiar with it. Always doodling in school.
I like it very much. You got a definite technique with the pen and ink type of thing.
Oh, thank you. And then, do you want me to show you another one?
Is that you with a baby?
So this was an assignment we had. It's very interesting. Let me just move these. In Christine's class, because we did art shows, we had to pick a famous painting. So I picked the famous painting by Mary Cassatt. It's her holding a baby, and Mary Cassatt's painting is in Worcester at the Worcester Art Museum. Mm-hmm. That's where it's being held. And so I chose that one because at this time in my life I just had Hanna.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I made the woman's face, and the original is actually on the back.
Oh.
But I'll just kind of...
I was wondering if the woman was you.
Yeah. So I tried to do the face like me.
Uh-huh.
That's the original.
Very.
And then I did her face. instead of the baby's face with all the hair. 'Cause she didn't have a lot of hair when she was born.
Yeah, neither did mine. My son, he was bald with red fuzz. Oh, that is so pretty.
But I chose that because, it was a special time in my life when I just had my daughter, and I was very attached to local art, and knowing that she's an American artist and that this particular one was in Worcester is why I did it. So
Wonderful job. Did you have to sit there and do it in front of the one that you, or did you do it at home?
I had a picture of her, and I looked in the mirror in my classes.
Very good.
Yeah. But this actually looks more like my cousin.
Really?
Yeah, when she saw the picture, she was like, "Whoa, it looks like me." I'm like,
Yeah.
"I know."
Your aunt, right? Yeah. Like that. Very good.
Can you guess what cousin?
Mary.
Mary. Yeah.
Looks too much. Well, they look a lot alike. So.
Yeah, yeah, oh, definitely, I would say, because I thought that was your mom. It
Yeah.
was beautiful. Look at is that an angel?
So yes, so the work that I do now, this was more detailed and focused in the art classes, and I was always trying to perfect it and look at a picture and try to get it exact. And then I went many years without doing art, just kind of a little bit here and there for fun. So what I did was I just made it. I made it very, very important to me to become more creative. So I didn't want that restriction on myself as I hold usually, so I wanted to be more free. So I decided to do pastels where I could be messy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I chose to do, this is an angel.
Can you see that, Paul? Can we get? Oh, I love the blue. Is that anybody that you know that you kind of?
It is not, but when I was doing it, my mother inspired me, and my mother has passed 4 years ago. So I was thinking of her doing this.
Beautiful. And that's the pastel with the crayons or ink? I mean, or the paint?
No, it's the pastel like the crayons, but the oil.
Beautiful.
It's an oil base.
I've always wondered what it's like to work with the oil pastel crayon. I've never done it.
It's fun. It's messy.
But it looks like you can blend, right?
You can. It's layered.
Yeah.
It's layered and layered and layered and
Yeah.
layered, and then I would brush it with rubbing alcohol and blend it some more, and I would use a blending tool that I use for charcoal,
Yeah.
and
It brings a lot of texture.
Yay.
Yeah.
yeah. And I actually did this in the house and outside in the sun, and I worked on it for a while, and then
Oh, here comes a hen.
and yeah,
a hen.
this is one of my chickens. We have chickens.
You've got chickens?
Yeah, we do.
Now, what's that? What's that media?
Same.
It's the same thing.
Same. I just didn't use a lot of rubbing alcohol on it to blend.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that, you have the display going on up in the Book Lovers Gourmet, both of you,
We do.
in Webster. And were those part of them, or no?
My pastels were.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh,
my
that's
newer
fine.
work, it was there on my where my work was hanging. But my older work, I actually had it at Book Lovers Gourmet at the original one many years ago.
I remember the original store.
Yeah.
Right off of, still off of Route 16, the new one.
Yep.
I remember it was a cute little on the right as I was coming up like this, and now she's in like a little plaza.
It actually
At the-
had a chicken right in front of it. Right
You
in front
did
of the
while you
building.
did it?
No, the original one had I think it was from a local artist, like a metal big chicken in front
Yeah.
for a few years at one point.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Not by me.
How can they get a hold of you, Kathleen?
So my work or any kind of communication, it's best on my Instagram page. I also teach yoga, so my Instagram page is my name, Kathleen Yoga _ and then my email, which is my name, Kathleen Kunkel 4 @gmail.com.
All right, now we're going to get to her daughter. This is Hanna. Hanna is a college student online, am I correct?
Yeah.
And majoring in business. She's going to do well. She really, really is. And Hanna is artistic. I call it crafting, right? Show us some of your pottery.
Sure. So,
When did you get interested in this, Hanna? Pick any of them.
Honestly, I took a class in high school. It was like my junior year. I took a class, and it was, just an elective, just for fun. And, after the class was over with, I was like, I had a lot of fun, and I got to learn a lot of things. And it wasn't until last year that I really started getting into it for fun. I had like a small little wheel I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was like during COVID, I just took it seriously at home.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been about a year. I've been doing it on a daily basis. So
Start showing us some of these beautiful pieces.
So this is a bowl that I made a few months ago in a studio in Worcester. And I don't know, I just, it was really interesting because like based off of different studios, they work with different kilns and glaze mediums and clays, and it, like at the studio I got to learn the specific compounds that go behind, the ceramics art in general. So so this is done at like a high firing, so the kiln gets pretty hot, and to do that you have to have a specific glaze and a specific type of clay that you use. So high firing, you're able to get all of these cool designs and the dripping patterns and everything, and all the different color combinations and all the movement in the glaze, I guess.
Hannah, are these up on display in Webster or no?
So that specific bowl and this mug aren't, but this one is here. I'll switch. Yeah,
I like the colors. Gosh.
So just recently, I did. This isn't a high firing. It's just one right below that. As you can see, there's not much movement with the glaze and everything. So this one's up at the Book Lovers Gourmet, and I did a line of work that has the blue line to kind of be like a more like Mediterranean, beachy style. So
I like it. It does look like a Cape Cod cottage, and then she's got the little cups that go with it.
Yeah, it's like a whole like.
It does remind me
set,
of the Cape Cod
and I got
cottage or
another one,
Sturbridge
too.
Village.
Yeah,
It has that air about it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. How do you get the colors and choose? Do you paint it after it's fired, or?
So it actually goes through 2 firings. So you make the piece, and then it dries to what's called bone dry, and then it's allowed to go in the first firing, which is a bisque fire, and that specific firing gets the clay to a type of feeling that you're able to add glaze to it. So it like extracts all the water and makes it porous enough so you can put glaze on it, and then you put it in its second firing that fires it at
You
a
got
really high
something there, girl.
temperature.
That is really cute.
It's I don't know, it's hard to really explain all of the mechanics in one sitting, but it's really, really interesting because the more you do it, the more you learn, and it's
Hannah,
like a
how
whole
can
science.
they get a hold of you?
You can follow my Instagram it's called by Hanna K, and you can message me there, or you can email me at Hanna Kunkel, Hanna, no H at the end, and 28@gmail.com.
Awesome. Now, how old were you when you first started getting into this? Was it just a little while ago?
Yeah, it was just a year ago.
Wow.
Is when I started really taking
You
it
have
seriously.
moved fast.
Thank
And
you.
Mom, Kathleen, about the time you got into it was maybe it was longer than a year ago. It was how long ago do you think?
When I took this seriously, it was about 27 years ago when I started with Christine O'Brien. But the art itself, in my schooling, it was I was in elementary school, and it was after school hours where they have a program, and that's when I really found an interest in it.
So you knew in elementary school.
I liked art. I was
Yeah, me too.
that girl.
Yeah, I liked. Did you go to college and study it at all?
I didn't study it in college, no, not at all. But I did have this little dream inside me when I was in my teens to be an elementary art school teacher, and I didn't follow it.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, for whatever reason, but
You did. She did substitute.
She did?
That's a big chunk of my childhood with art, is going to school, because she would substitute the art department, and we would match because it would be my school.
It would be
Oh
your
yeah,
class, your
she knew.
class?
She was in kindergarten.
Oh, cool.
And she knew what the days I was gonna come to her school and sub for the art teacher.
Yeah.
And she would look at what I was wearing, and she'd wear the same thing.
I
And
would be really excited.
yeah. So I kind of was an elementary art school teacher.
You got
in a
part of
way.
your dream,
Yeah.
there, right? You got part of it.
Yeah.
Now, while you're doing your art, is this all you concentrate on too, or do you have another position outside of home? You do anything else? Do you have besides working on your art?
Oh, besides working on my art, I teach yoga and I'm a caregiver currently.
it.
I used to work in the school system for many, many years,
Yeah.
but this is what I do now.
I can see you as really working well with the kids. Actually, any age. Do you ever go to senior centers or anything like that? And share your work?
Well, not for this, but during COVID, I actually, when the schools were all locked down, I worked at Marianne Moore's Heritage Assisted Living Place in Framingham.
Did you do your art there?
I didn't. I actually did yoga with the elderly.
Oh, that was great. And they let you in.
I worked there. I was like part of their activities department, but they couldn't pass around art and do all that stuff because of COVID.
Sure.
So we just stayed 6 feet apart and did our yoga.
It's really cool. Yeah, being locked down, the COVID thing, I know that I didn't stay put. I mean, we wore the mask, got the shots. We had to get groceries. We had to go. I mean, we weren't into having them just plopped in the car. We got to go. And we stayed away from people as we were going, but knock on wood, we've had good luck so far.
Yeah.
We really have. Now, Hannah, are you and Mom going to maybe start a little art shop together?
We talk about
This
it. We
would be
talk about it a
good.
lot.
Where
We
did I
talk
pick
about
this
it
up?
having a yellow door.
Mhm.
A yellow door?
Yeah.
Where would it be? Where would it be? Up here in the Mass or over in Connecticut?
Or Vermont.
I don't know.
Or Florida?
I guess anywhere
I
it
don't
takes
know.
us.
We
I
like
guess.
the ocean. We like the nature. We're a lot alike. We like the outdoor stuff. So I don't know.
So how long has your display been over at Book Lovers Gourmet?
The whole month.
The whole month.
Yeah,
of
it was
November, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Now where are you going after this?
Ooh, well, I actually have next November booked there as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's coming up in a year.
In a year.
All right. That's good. That's good. Now this is a perfect season for the people to display their things, their arts and crafts, because it's the holidays. Right, they're thinking of what I can get my aunt, my mother, my friend. Have you found that yet? Have you found that out?
So next month, so coming up in December, at this cafe that I work at, it's called the Rose Room in Webster. My boss and her husband have always been really supportive since I started there last year with my pottery. And they have another business called Andy's Neighborhood Canteen, and it's like a beer garden in Webster as well.
Yeah.
And they're doing a holiday vendor type thing in December. I think it's December 14th, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to have my stuff set up there, and it's going to be the same stuff that I have as at Book Lovers, plus some holiday ornaments. So
We have been talking with Kathleen Kunkel, and she is a mixed media artist, and her daughter, Hanna Kunkel, and she does the pottery. Do you have any fairs coming up? You know, the arts and crafts fairs? Have you done those yet?
not yet.
Not recently, no.
Yeah. You know, it's not just high schools and the PTA putting them on, which are good. But there are big ones in an area, in the region, like in Massachusetts, we'll have special ones, and you can sign on if you want to participate. I bet you guys would love it. You really, there's so much out there. And people love art and there's ceramics. What's that place in Shrewsbury? You're going along Route 9. Oh, you can bring anybody with you. Do the ceramics?
Oh, clay time?
Yes, clay time.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of fun. Did you take her to clay
I do.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I took, was it my son, and he had a little girlfriend. I took them both, and I remember us sitting there doing it. It is a blast.
Yeah.
It really, really is. And you come back, I think, is it the next day to get it? And I don't know, you paint it after you've molded it, and then they put it in the kiln overnight or a day or two or whatever. And then you come back and you get it.
Yeah.
That is. How about your other daughter? Is she artistic at all?
Well, I have an older son.
Oh, son.
Yep.
Okay.
He is artistic, and the funny thing is he had gone to Christine O'Brien as well. Both my children have. I had them go when they were younger, like in grade school, and I knew he had the talent, but not the interest. I could tell because he's a very sports boy.
Yep.
So I did it while I could, And then, of course, sports took over. So
Yeah.
he doesn't really doodle around too much these days, but he has it in him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. Another place, too, are libraries. Especially, now Thompson, I know they have a library. I think I've been to that. I know Webster does. I've been to that. They appreciate local talent. They like to have it on display. I know that our library downstairs, we're going to have a new one pretty soon, but it's a great place for people, especially if you're local. They say, I know her, or I know her, or how do I get a hold of that person, you know? And they're right in the same area. Have you thought of doing that?
No, but that's a wonderful idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's the whole thing is getting the word out. How great you both, you both do different arts, different kinds of artwork. And it's great to, if you were in a fair, they charge you for a table, obviously.
Yeah.
But the cool thing to do is, all right, let's say they're asking $60 for a table. Cut it in half. You share one part, you share the other. And now it's only $30 each.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
It's fun. You're surrounded by so many artists and crafters. Nobody's work is alike anybody else's. That's for sure. Yours is unique and yours is unique. What do you think you want for the future? What do you got coming up, do you think?
Oh my goodness. Well, in my vision, I see her taking off.
She will take off?
Yeah. I don't mind being more reserved or just kind of having it take its course in a subtle way. But I see her taking off.
Hannah's going to go. What do you want to do with your artwork?
Well, because I've kind of discovered this passion of mine in the midst of, transitioning from high school to college, it's kind of the only thing I really see myself doing right now. So in the future, I really hope to, establish a website so I can, do orders and shipments and things like that. And in the later future, hopefully have my own studio of some sort.
That's where that business degree is going to come in very handy.
Yeah.
You are going to be your own boss, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be able to open up your own business, your store. Have mom in there too.
Yeah.
Really. You can't shut anybody out. Were the grandparents, were any of them talented this way? I know your dad, or your grandfather, right?
Well, my grandfather was with the way he stitched clothes.
Yeah.
And one of my dad's brother was a welder. He worked for GM, and he made on the side in his garage. He had the welding tools and made little figurines and stuff like that. So the gene definitely comes from there, from my dad's side.
Now, in your home, do you both have separate studios? How do you do it?
I just recently, the other day, went from taking my wheel and all of my stuff outside into the boiler room. So that's my studio, is the boiler room.
But not the garage, but the boiler room.
Yeah.
Do you have...
It's cold.
Let's see, what about... Kathleen, where do you do your beautiful painting?
Oh, well, that was the thing. So when I was taking classes, it was very easy for me to have the 2 hours, the classical music, the whole ambiance of it, and get it done. But then raising the kids and stuff, it really is hard. So because I allowed my life to be more flexible the past few years, which I'm so proud that I did that. I was able to just work in the kitchen and then clean up after myself. And my kids are older, so I don't have to tend to them.
Right.
Yeah.
What about your high school? Do they know about the two of you with your art? That's another place to... you know how they have the showcase? I know at my high school they have the glass showcases and everything. Yeah. What a great deal. Especially since you went there, Hannah.
Yeah.
Former student, or graduate Hanna.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then have them dedicate one to you. The kids can see what they could do.
I think my art teacher would be, honestly, I think she'd be a little confused because throughout high school I was just always doing photography, and those were the classes that I focused on. And ceramics was kind of just an elective in the art department, so my art teacher was kind of pushing me in the photography direction. So I think if I came to her and was like,
good, let it be
I
surprised.
decided to do that. Yeah, she'd be a little surprised, but that'd be nice.
Not?
Yeah.
You get the word out about your own things, and also gives hope to the kids in there. Like, gee, that's cool. I might try it. Everybody has their own style, right?
Yeah.
Mom has a beautiful painting style and drawing with the pen and ink, and you also have the crafting with the ceramics.
Yeah.
I could see the two of you taking your garage. Mom's not gonna like this. Why, have you talked about this? Yes, turning it into your studio that when people want to come and see your art or maybe purchase, you know where it is. It's right
Yeah.
there. Do you really need the car in there? The heck with the car. Just make it a studio.
Yeah,
We could.
that would be awesome.
We totally could.
Yeah, because I mean, I am in the boiler room. So that would
The
be
way she
nice.
says that,
But
I'm
I mean,
in the
I do go to. We have a local pottery studio, probably about 10 minutes from our house, and I do go there, and I am able to use their kiln and things like that. So I have a studio space to go to if I need to, but a lot of the time I just like being at home. So
Are you both going to be going to the, well, it's kind of late now, but had you been over at the Book Lovers Gourmet sitting there to greet people coming in? Or?
Yeah.
You did. What was that like?
it was subtle.
Yeah, it was subtle and comfortable because it was family and close friends that supported us.
Yeah,
It's a comfy little store.
Oh,
we saw it
yeah.
for the first time not long ago. I love the way she has it set up. You walk in and she has not just books, but beautiful little tchotchkes around and craft, creative things, and she's made it into a very cozy situation. Are you going to be? You're going to be back there a year from this month. You'll be back next November. Wow, that's a long time away. But it's a good thing, right? You're going to be there again. That would be really good. There's so many places. I want to thank you both for being on. Kathleen Kunkel, the mom who does beautiful painting, and her daughter Hanna Kunkel, and she does the beautiful pottery work. You too, really. I love to see, the parent and their child using their skills. Really, both of you.
Thank you.
For being with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So,
We'll
thank
see
you for
next
having
time.
us.
You're welcome. We'll see you next time and be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.